ナムミョホレンゲキョナムミョホレンゲキョナムミョホレンゲキョ Okay, thank you very much. So, as I explained before the service today, this practice is called Gongyo. So Gongyo means assiduous practice or accumulative practice. So as Buddhists, our practice every day is a morning and evening to practice Gongyo. And sometimes it's difficult to notice the results or benefits of that practice unless we take a step back. But actually, even a tiny action is a seed, and then, according to the law of karma, will definitely produce some result in the future. So the Buddha said, any intentional action which we perform will always leave some subtle imprint on our mind. So even if it's just a tiny action, which we did many years ago, it's faded from our memory, leaving seemingly no trace. It will come to fruition whenever it meets the right conditions. So the Buddha said, any good action you do is like that. So even one tiny seed of good, many good fruits can come. But depending on the air temperature, the soil condition, amount of light, water, might take some time. So in the Lotus Sutra, in chapter 2, there's a story about two boys. So in chapter 2, it mentions the ways in which we can approach enlightenment. And it talks about lots of offerings. For example, it says, those who, after the extinction of a Buddha, erected billions of stupas and who purely and extensively adorned those stupas with treasures such as gold, silver, crystal, shell, agate, ruby, and lapis lazuli, and who offered those adornments to his shariras, or those who made the mausoleum of the Buddha with stone, bricks, or clay, or with many kinds of wood, such as chandana, aloes, or agaloch, or those who made the mausoleum of the Buddha with heaps of earth in the wilderness, or the boys who made the stupa of the Buddha with heaps of sand by playing, have already attained the enlightenment of the Buddha. Those who carved an image of the Buddha with the proper physical marks in his honor have already attained the enlightenment of the Buddha. Those who made an image of the Buddha with the 7 treasures, or those who made it of copper, gold, alloy, nickel, pewter, lead, tin, iron, wood, or clay, or those who made it in plaster work, have already attained the enlightenment of the Buddha. Those who drew or caused others to draw in color a picture of the Buddha adorned with his physical marks, each mark representing 100 merits, have already attained the enlightenment of the Buddha. The boys who by playing drew a picture of the Buddha with a piece of grass or wood, or with a brush, or with the back of their fingernails, became able to accumulate merits one by one. Having great compassion towards others, they attained the enlightenment of the Buddha, taught only bodhisattvas, and saved many living beings. So it mentions even 2 boys doing such a small, tiny thing as making a picture of the Buddha with their fingernail in mud. That was one tiny seed. And then through that action, it says that they became able to accumulate merits one by one. So when we read that, of course, the Lotus Sutra is not encouraging us to be lazy. That's not the message. But it means every act that makes us more mindful of the Buddha is of huge significance, because it puts us on the right course, the right path. So our everyday practice, offering flowers, incense, candlelight, and also reciting the Buddha's teaching, of course, the Lotus Sutra, and the Odaimoku Namu Myoho Renge Kyo is a seed to keep us on the right track. And then our connection, relationship, and link with the Buddha and his teachings becomes stronger. And then gradually accumulate those, and then naturally we want to study the Buddha's teachings more. Naturally, through that practice, we can gain some insight and then move further towards enlightenment. So even a tiny, seemingly insignificant action is a seed. According to the law of karma, we are constantly creating our destiny, creating our future. Because through what we do with our body and our speech and with our thoughts, we create a habit. Karma seems very complicated most of the time, and in fact it is. I don't understand karma, but I think one simple way to think about karma is, karma means habit. When we do any action, we're creating a habit, a mental imprint, to do a similar thing in the future, to respond in a similar way in the future. If you spent your whole life, 60 years, for example, reacting or behaving in a particular way, it's very difficult to break that cycle. But according to the Buddha, the good news is you can. We absolutely can. So, now with neuroplasticity, this idea sounds obvious, but it's actually very fundamental. We have the power to change direction and the track of our life. So through our Buddhist practice, of course, our aim is to develop compassion, wisdom, peace. If we were just stuck one way, it would be useless. We wouldn't be able to change it. But fortunately, our thoughts, words, and deeds leave an imprint. So one by one foot in front of the other, tiny seeds, if we plant them, for sure they will ripen. So, sometimes if we live like that, and then we try to be a good person all the time, actually life's not so easy. So sometimes it's easy to lose sight and then give up, or think, why is this happening to me? Whatever it is, some situation or circumstance comes along. Why? I don't deserve this, I'm planting all these good seeds. So, but the point is, those seeds for sure will result in fruit in the future. It's just, we have to be patient. But the Lotus Sutra reassures us, sooner or later will come. If you plant a pear tree seed, you will get a pear. You cannot get an apple. So, therefore, everybody watching, please try to practice the Lotus Sutra. Our main practice is chanting Namu Myoho Renge Kyo. What does Namu Myoho Renge Kyo mean? Namu signifies taking refuge or devotion and honor to Myoho Renge Kyo, the Lotus Sutra, the teaching of the Buddha. So our practice of reciting Namu Myoho Renge Kyo is upholding, keeping the Lotus Sutra in our life. Whenever we chant, we are connecting to the Buddha, connecting to this amazing teaching of his. And then after we do that, accumulate, then our life, we start to live according to that teaching as well. So it's called Juji Odaimoku, Juji Daimoku, upholding the Lotus Sutra. That is our practice. So over time, that teaching will start to bloom in our life. So please keep planting, and then sooner or later, I believe sooner as well as later, you will see the result, the fruit. So please enjoy chanting every day. So sometimes, when we are very in a tricky situation, we might practice a lot. When we hear not from me, but when we hear an inspiring Dharma talk from somebody, we might practice a lot. But actually, the most important thing is consistently practicing. In order to transform our life, we need consistent practice, little by little, step by step. So please chant every day, and let's continue practicing together. Okay, so thank you very much, everybody, for coming at the earlier time. I appreciate you coming early, and I'm sorry I couldn't do the regular time. So anyway, afternoon tea will be as usual, so 4 p.m. So I hope to see you all later, and you can enjoy enjoy the sunshine. Okay, thank you very much. Please let's chant Odaimoku 3 times once more. Namu Myoho Renge Kyo. Namu Myoho Renge Kyo. Namu Myoho